Welcome to USS Independence video cruise book. I'm standing here in Pier Lima and at the Naval Air Station, North Island, San Diego, California. My name is Captain Buzz Needham. I'm the commanding officer of USS Independence. And we are here in San Diego, the new home for the crew and families of USS Independence after traveling from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, around the southern tip of South America. A trip of some 14,000 miles. During the period, we to take many video pictures of the events that occurred, and that is what this presentation is going to be. Please enjoy it.
In early 1988, Independence completed an extensive 3-year overhaul known as SLEP, the Service Life Extension Program. SLEP was a 3-element program consisting of fleet modernization, major life-enhancing alterations, and repair and replacement, which will extend Indy's service life by 15 years. The Philadelphia Naval Shipyard and the crew of Independence worked long and hard to bring the ship back to life, allowing her to be a viable substitute for a new carrier into the 21st century. As SLEP came to an end, Indy began working toward rejoining the fleet as a fully operational carrier. Finally, in mid-1988, Indy left Philadelphia for the last time en route to her new home port, San Diego. During the first leg of the trip to San Diego, Indy's crew went through refresher training in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. REFTRAI was an extensive training program designed to improve the ship and the crew's operational readiness. During REFTRAI, nearly every phase of shipboard operation was thoroughly examined by the REFTRAI instructors, with a major emphasis placed on the crew's damage control awareness, the ability to fight fires, flooding, and other emergencies that an operational carrier must be prepared for. With the successful completion of REFTRAI, the crew of Independence began looking towards the west and their new home in San Diego.
47 deadbeats living in the back street, north, east, west, south, all in the same house, sitting in a back room, waiting for the big boom. I'm in the bedroom waiting for my baby. She's so mean, I don't care. I love her eyes and her wild, wild hair. Dance to the beat as we right there, heading for the 90s, living in the wild, wild west. Wild, wild west. Woman is in the back room, handing out valley and shares.
Traveling approximately 15,000 miles from Philadelphia to San Diego, Independence and her crew enjoyed port calls in St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and Acapulco, Mexico. St. Thomas, an island paradise located in the tropical climate of the Caribbean. 32 square miles of beaches, mountains, and some of the clearest blue waters found anywhere. This may sound like Fantasy Island, but actually it is in the U.S. Virgin Islands, the first Liberty port visited by Independence and her crew in over 3 years. 3 days of fun in the sun awaited the crew on August 20th as the aircraft carrier dropped anchor in the bay just off the coast of Charlotte Amalie, capital of the Virgin Islands. Liberty boats brought the crew and their guests to the island paradise around the clock. If there is no love in your heart, oh now, there will never be hope for you. Tomorrow, people, where is your bed? Tomorrow, people, how long will you last? And yes, tomorrow, people, where is your bed? Tomorrow, people, come on, tomorrow. Tomorrow, people, come on, yeah. Tomorrow, people. Tomorrow, soon come. Hey, y'all. Tomorrow, soon come. Today is there. You don't know your past, you don't know your future. Everyone, you don't know your past, you won't know your future. Shortly after pulling out of St. Thomas to continue the trip around the Horn, another milestone came for us on August 27th, as Freedom's flagship entered the realm of Neptunus Rex and crossed the equator. Over 3,600 polywogs were initiated by the 400 Indy shellbacks. The ceremony lasted about 8 hours, and by noon that day, Indy had experienced a day of activities that will bring back memories for years to come.
Oh yeah, we would lose our brain. Took off for a weekend last month, trying to recall the whole year. All of the places and all of the faces, just wondering where they all disappeared. I didn't ponder the question too long. I was hungry and I went out for a bite. Ran into a chum with a bottle of rum, and we wound up drinking all night. You see, changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes, nothing remains quite the same. All of our running and all of our gunning, if we could laugh, we would all go insane. places I've been. Visions of good times that brought so much pleasure make me wanna go back again. If it suddenly ended tomorrow, I could somehow adjust to the fall. Good times and riches and son of the bitches, I've seen more than I can recall. With these changes in attitudes, nothing remains quite the same. Through all of the islands and all of the highlands, if we couldn't laugh, we would all go insane. Oh, we'd lose our brains. Think about Paris when I'm on red wine. I wish I could jump on a plane. So many nights I sit and dream of the ocean. God, I wish I was sailing again. Whoa, yesterdays are over my shoulder, so I can't look back for too long. No, there's just too much to see waiting in front of me, and I don't think that I can go wrong with these changes in attitudes, nothing remains quite the same. With all of our running and all of our cunning, if we could laugh, we would all go insane. If we could laugh, we would all go insane. If we weren't all crazy, we would go insane.
A week after Indy's crew became shellbacks, Indy dropped anchor in the horseshoe-shaped Guanabara Bay of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The Corcovado Peak, at whose summit of 2,310 feet stands the dramatic statue of Christ the Redeemer, can be seen behind the city. Rio is a splendid sight with its emerald-colored sea set against the bright blue sky and long stretches of sandy beaches. The streets are lined with restaurants, cafes, nightclubs, and stores that sell items ranging from t-shirts to fine jewelry. The sailors aboard Indy soon found out why Rio is considered one of the finest ports of call in the world. Buses met the sailors at the fleet landing and quickly took them to the hotels and shopping centers lining the beaches of Copacabana and Ipanema.
I used to think that the day would never come, that my life would be
ship pulled up anchor September 6th after 3 full days of enjoying the best that Rio had to offer. The crew of Indy left with fond memories of a city which lived up to its billing as one of the world's premier resort cities. After the excitement of Rio had passed, it was business as usual for Freedom's flagship. The Navy of the 80s is made up of hundreds of finely tuned, highly sophisticated war machines that are manned by hundreds of thousands of skilled Navy men and women. The constant upgrading of technology and training makes our naval vessels, like Independence, as much of a showplace for our allies as our ship is to us. While Indy was making her way around the Horn, she became a diplomatic meeting place for the United States and South American forces. Foreign diplomats and senior military officers of various countries such as Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Chile, and Mexico came aboard Indy for tours and special air power demonstrations.
I'm wearing to the Chinese. Hot potato. It's tickling my fancy. Because I can't hear you. Here on this mountain top. I got some wild, wild nights. I got some news to tell about some wild, wild nights. Here comes the Saturday show. She's got some wild, wild nights. And that's the way I like it. Living wild, wild nights. I'll rest with your conscience. You rest with your partner. Sitting on a windowsill, but it's 10 feet time behind closed doors. Check out this businessman. He bought some wild, wild life on the way to the stock exchange. He got some wild, wild life. Make it up when he opens the door. He's doing wild, wild life. I know it's the way I like it. Living wild, wild. Peace of mind is a piece of cake. Thought control, you get on board anytime you like. Like sitting on engineers, things fall apart. It's scientific. Sleeping on the interstate, getting wild, wild, like checking in, checking out. I got a wild, wild, spending all of my money and time. So too much wild, wild. We wanna go, where we go, where we go. I'm doing wild, wild. I know it, that's how we start. Got the wild, wild. Take a picture, here in the daylight. They got the wild, wild. You go so slow, you go so fast. The wild, and I know that's the way I like it. The wild, 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 wild.
On Thursday morning, September 29th, Indy dropped anchor for the final time before reaching San Diego. This time it was off the coast of Acapulco, Mexico. After 23 days of steaming from Rio around the cold, blustery Horn of South America, the crew was more than ready to set foot on dry land. With just over a week of the transit left, the crew hit the beach with the added excitement of meeting up with their family members in Acapulco for the Tiger Cruise to San Diego, or with wives who took a chartered flight from San Diego to greet the ship. The weather was warm, and so was the reception from the people of Acapulco. Indy was the first carrier to visit the resort city in over 26 years.
For the first time in my life, That's why I tell you, you'd better be home soon. Stripping back the coats, the lies and deception. Back to nothingness, like a week in the desert. And I know I'm right for the first time in my life. That's why I tell you, you better be home soon. Don't say no, don't say nothing's wrong. When you get back home, maybe I'll be gone. Oh, no. It would cause me pain if we were to end it, but I could start again. You can depend on it, and I know I'm right for the first time in my life. That's why I tell you, you better be home soon. Oh, that's why I tell you, you'd better be home soon.
During the final week of the transit, many Indy sailors were able to share the excitement of pulling into their new home port with family members who joined the ship in Acapulco, part of an ongoing Tiger cruise offered to male dependents and friends of the crew during the trip around the Horn. The Tigers were treated to a week filled with special events and activities. For an entire week, the Tigers got a taste of what life at sea is all about. In addition, they were also treated to added activities celebrating the ship's arrival in San Diego. They witnessed a night of boxing matches on the hangar bay and played big money bingo on the mess deck. Finally, at noon on October 8th, Indy sailors got their first look at their new home port from the flight deck of CV-62 as she pulled alongside the pier at North Island Naval Air Station. Thousands of family members, friends, and residents of San Diego turned out at Coronado Island to welcome Indy to her new home. Fireboats escorted the carrier and her crew to the pier where the celebration was just beginning for Indy. There was a short ceremony held on the pier with Mayor Maureen O'Connor and the Chamber of Commerce of San Diego welcoming Commanding Officer W.R. Needham and the crew of Indy to the area. Minutes after the ceremony began, Captain Needham turned toward the ship and announced the Liberty Call for the crew. Thousands of Indy sailors made their way to family and friends waiting on the pier at North Island, the new home for Freedom's flagship.
I see me with you, all of the
and sheer power of today's carrier battle group.
The aircraft carrier has long been the bottom line of the United States Navy's offensive and defensive charter. Floating, mobile, entirely self-contained air bases that can range every ocean to accomplish that most important of military missions, to move our muscle far closer to any enemy's borders than to ours, to strike on our terms rather than react to theirs. Today, the carrier is but one element in a global system of immense, complex naval units called carrier battle group. Unlike a land base or an armored division, a carrier battle group goes where it wishes and moves at will. A carrier battle group can include as many as a dozen fighting ships. New Aegis missile cruisers provide each group with a computer-controlled multi-weapon defense system, so capable it can beat threats in the air, on the surface, and underwater simultaneously. Destroyers deal with close-in air and underwater threats. And fast frigates carry LAMPS helicopters with computer data links that extend each frigate's anti-sub capability hundreds of miles in every direction. Nuclear-attacked submarines ride point, ranging far ahead of the battle group to clear the trail underwater. And the carrier battle group takes with it stores and supplies, weapons and replenishments to match its nuclear-fueled endurance.
5 feet out, 5 feet out. 400. No street car. 507 on that, 507.
Tied together by a vast electronic net that instantly transmits data, commands, and communications between ships and aircraft, the carrier battle group is the computer-age analog of the old World War II task force. But it is an almost inconceivably more powerful, responsive, and extensive military mechanism than anything the world has known before, with capabilities far beyond the purview of land forces or land-based aircraft or missiles. The carrier battle group's primary weapon is its aircraft that are naval guns with a range of 600 to 1,000 miles in every direction, that provide a mission mix all the way from hostile threat interception to ground target attack, from anti-submarine warfare to electronic countermeasures. Cornerstone of the fighter structure is the F-14 Tomcat, soon to be joined by the even more capable F-14D, an all-digital Super Tomcat that will push the carrier's air defense capability even farther out, making the battle group increasingly viable for decades to come. Attack bombers such as the A-7E follow the path opened by the carrier's fighters, and along with the A-6 Intruder can carry the punch far ashore or to hostile ships. The Intruder is a deadly mailman. Neither rain, nor snow, nor gloom of night keep this all-weather aircraft from its appointed round, and its special delivery is surprise. Electronics-laden EA-6Bs can take the process a step further, accompanying the attack aircraft to jam enemy radar and decoy missiles. And the dual-role FA-18 fighter attack aircraft is bringing supersonic speed to the carrier's attack role, as well as increased air superiority fighter muscle. For these highly maneuverable, state-of-the-art heavy hitters are taking over the interceptor role of elderly F-4 Phantoms, as well as the close air support tactical task of the A-7. 2 missions for the price of 1 airplane. B-2C early warning and control aircraft is, if not the quarterback, certainly the runner that carries in the plays for this immense team. A far-ranging radar platform that sees every ship, aircraft, and missile for hundreds of miles in every direction. The area covered by a carrier battle group is huge. If it moved on land, imagine a nuclear carrier afloat in Washington, D.C. Yet its companion missile cruisers, frigates, and supply vessels would cover an area that stretched from central Pennsylvania to southernmost Virginia and West Virginia, making the individual units hard to locate and the battle group difficult to target. Aircraft dedicated to the defense of the battle group would be aloft and under instant control over Maine and South Carolina, Kentucky, and Michigan, patrolling over 300 nautical miles in any direction from the carrier. Nuclear attack submarines and anti-sub aircraft, such as the S-3 Viking, would be sweeping the seas as far ahead as Ohio. And its attack aircraft would stand ready to strike as far away as Missouri or Illinois. In real-world terms, this offensive capability means that a carrier battle group could support operations to the extremities of the Mediterranean. From the North Sea, or Norwegian waters, its aircraft could support operations in the areas of Finland, Western Russia, Poland, Czechoslovakia, East and West Germany, and virtually all of Western Europe. Moving supersonically in the air and up to 500 stealthy miles a day on and beneath the oceans, carrier battle groups range anywhere they are needed to fulfill their major mission, to control the sea and much of the land. 85% of the land areas covered by U.S. wartime contingency plans and 95% of the world's population lie within range of carrier aircraft operating from international waters. In the past, our nation has relied upon overseas bases for land aircraft, but modern political and military realities have changed that. Cam Ranh Bay and Tan Son Nhut, today Soviet satellite. Wheelus Air Force Base, now in Libyan hands. The Indian Ocean, served solely by remote Diego Garcia. The Mediterranean, ringed largely by countries that deny us landing rights. The South Pacific, only recently the scenes of anti-U.S. Navy demonstrations. It is only the Navy that has the capability of responding to anything from brush fire flare-ups to all-out war. Why is sea control so important when wars are fought on land? Because those land troops must be transported and supplied almost entirely by sea lift rather than air. Because 40 of our 42 allies lie across oceans, yet must be actively and rapidly supported for mutual defense. Reliance solely upon heavily outnumbered land forces in Central Europe leaves largely two options: quick defeat or unacceptable escalation, unless they can be reinforced and resupplied. Though the task of carrier battle groups is not normally to escort merchant ships, they will be needed to keep the oceans free, for the United States needs a tremendous variety of raw materials, absolutely crucial to our defense industry, and they must all be brought here by sea. Aluminum ore, cobalt, manganese, rubber, and 89 other basic materials. The Soviets need the seas for other reasons. They have established the world's largest navy to protect their seaward approaches and to attempt to deny us the use of our strategic sea lanes. They know that if the U.S. Navy can be defeated, NATO could collapse, and our nation's entire forward strategy will become unworkable. The answer is not overseas outposts, intercontinental missiles, or sea laws.
We have to send a TARPS mission tonight at 2300 against...
It is our tough and ready carrier battle groups that sail in support of a broad spectrum of national needs, ready to react to each crisis with the right response now.
Okay, let's send one and a spare from VF-84, the TARPS birds.
All right.
We're going to need an escort.
Okay.
And in times of peace, the carrier battle group is the single most effective, most powerful, yet benign way our military can show the flag in foreign lands. Still, some say the aircraft carrier itself is a sitting duck. That's far from the truth.
Okay, on the flight deck, air crews are manning up for the 0900 launch.
Its F-14 Tomcats fight the outer air battle, a tactic designed to combat the primary threat to the battle group ships.
Start them up.
Long-range Soviet cruise missiles carried by supersonic backfire bombers. It requires that fighters be launched and vectored toward an airborne threat in time to destroy it before air-to-ship missiles can be launched. Guided and controlled by radar and other sensors aboard E-2C Hawkeyes, the F-14 Tomcats range many hundreds of miles out from their carrier to shoot the Archer before he can launch his arrows. Closer to the battle group core, the Aegis missile cruiser awaits those arrows that might slip past the F-14. Its bluff deckhouse shields a remarkable radar and computer team that guides missiles such as these to take out incoming targets moving at over twice the speed of sound. Like the legendary shield of Zeus for which it was named, Aegis is meant to be an impenetrable defense. The carrier also stands ready to defend itself with surface-to-air missiles and radar-aimed, computer-controlled phalanx gunnery, fast and powerful enough to track and destroy incoming missiles. The ship poses a threat to the enemy even if it is damaged, as long as it can launch aircraft. So damage control efforts are primarily directed toward keeping the flight deck in operation.
Stop! Pull forward!
The current Nimitz-class carriers are the most heavily armored U.S. ships launched since the Iowa-class battleships. Double hulls, triply redundant systems, and countless separate and sealable compartments make a modern big-deck carrier more survivable than any ship in history. And its damage control parties constantly and realistically drill in repairing battle damage. Certainly a major threat to the battle group is the submarine. But the sub must equally fear the carrier's S-3 Viking and land-based P-3 Orion. They can instantly exchange search and strike data with the battle group, making it a weapons complex that responds at the speed of light. The submarine moves through a world of water, but the S-3 probes that world with a wide variety of sensors. The S-3's primary task is to locate and, if necessary, attack enemy subs, whether they're as close as 5 miles from the carrier or as distant as 2,000 miles, whether they're missile launchers or torpedo shooters. Speed, range, and flexibility are the S-3's strengths. The easiest way to catch a fox is with a fox, and our foxes are each battle group's own nuclear attack submarines. The killer sub, the best anti-sub weapon.
40 feet out, sir. Hold on, both lanes.
The attack subs can range thousands of miles from the carrier, ready to attack the enemy submarines in their home waters before they can even threaten the battle group. It is the submarines that clear wide paths through the ocean for the carrier to follow.
Slow down and equalize 2-2.
A killer sub's arsenal includes deadly accurate wire-guided torpedoes and anti-submarine rockets, anti-ship missiles, and cruise missiles.
Mark it.
Number 1 scope.
Its prime adversaries are not surface ships, as was true decades ago, but other submarines. A carrier battle group's killer subs are there to seek and destroy their counterparts.
Bearing, mark. Down scope.
Set. Stand by. Stand by. Shoot. Tube 2. Fire.
The big deck carrier combines the functions of the smaller attack and anti-sub carriers of the past, but its capabilities far exceed those of the earlier design. No longer can the light, limited performance airplanes which were able to operate off small carriers perform the mission in today's threat environment. The aircraft that will fly tomorrow's as well as today's missions, the Tomcat, E-2, A-6, and FA-18, require the powerful catapults, heavy arresting gear, and large flight decks of a modern fleet carrier.
Ready on the nose. Ready on the tail. Lift.
Nor is a carrier battle group simply ships and aircraft. It is thousands of dedicated young men whose jobs take them from home and families for months at a time, for wages far less than their skills could earn them ashore, and each of whom must at all times be prepared to go in harm's way.
Primary bridge coming starboard.
About 15 degrees left. He goes 200 out there.
Carrier battle group, a fleet in itself, a force unexcelled, rapid response unmatched. It moves where it wishes, sails in answer to its country's needs, carries its nation's destiny upon its broad decks. Yes, our carrier battle groups are out there, upon the high seas and under them, in the air and at the ready. Their muscles flexible enough for overnight crisis or major conflict. Their presence demonstrates a kind of totally mobile, absolutely free-ranging, completely controllable power that no other military service can muster. And it is power that keeps the peace.